Welcome back to Champion Football. Talk about round 11. Supposed to have Dominic Costanzo on today. What he sent condolences to his family having a passing. So all the best to him. We'll get one at some time in the future. But we do have a Marconi representative. We've got Peter Fleay here today. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good. And thanks for having me on your show.
Thanks for coming, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm local, so it's easy to get you.
I've actually had a few people say you should be coming on. As in, when we first started, people said, get Fleay on. He's got lots of stories, so we'll see.
We'll see if we're allowed to say them.
You can say whatever.
Swear? Are you allowed to
I can swear.
Whatever you like.
Okay,
Enjoy yourself.
we'll let Rick later.
We'll get plenty to talk about from your side, but we'll talk about MPL1 to get started. Another weekend of plenty of goals and red cards. Red cards and goals. Has Marconi had any red cards this year?
Yes. Remember the guy? I just remember the
Dom
Olympic.
got sent off.
Yes, he got sent off
Late against Olympic.
Yeah, and he got the ball, but he actually
It wasn't malicious. Yeah, it was just high.
It looked bad though.
It looked bad. It looked terrible. But if
yeah.
you know Dom, he was definitely going for the ball. The referee and linesman said it too. He got the ball, but it was in a dangerous manner. So he got 4 weeks. We appealed it.
4 weeks?
And got it down to 3 weeks.
Oh wow.
I didn't know he got 4 weeks.
Yeah, never been sent off before. First time. Our club said let's appeal it, and we went for it, and they agreed with us, and they did the right thing and took a week off.
So you're going to do something, do it right?
That's
3 weeks. It's harsh, man.
So a lot of red cards. We had a red card in our game actually.
Was it a red?
I think it was similar to, I wouldn't say similar to Dom's, but basically the ball's went through the box. Our midfielder Jared should have just went attacked and headed it back into the box, but he's waited for it to come down, but he's facing our goal. And then from behind him, one of the Olympic players is running towards it to try and nick it off him, but he's not seen him, so he's put his foot up to try and turn the ball in another direction. Yeah. But he's threw his head in, he got a nod on it, and he kicked him in the face. He kicked him in the chin, and he burst his chin open, had to go to hospital.
Oh wow.
So it was one of those ones, it wasn't malicious, but the rules,
He didn't see him coming.
Didn't see him come, but again, I can see where the referee's coming from for the red card. And then there was a red 2 in the
Blacktown game.
Wanderers game. I couldn't really see the Blacktown red card.
I didn't see it. Nah.
And the Wanderers one, I think it was a reaction thing, I think, off the ball. But again, that's 2 red cards. There was more in MPL2 as well.
MPL2 as well, yeah.
Why do you think there's so many red cards?
You could ask the refs, man. I don't see, some of the decisions are a bit harsh.
Yeah, I think so as well.
But if they're going to be consistent, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah,
but you can't be given someone a send off for one thing and then the guy does it 5 minutes later and you give him a yellow.
Yeah, I agree.
That creates chaos amongst the players, the coaching staff. Everyone's starting to ask the fourth official questions, and
every tackle's and the game's away. Nah, it's been a very bizarre. I think I said this last week, but I don't know if you can get the stats from previous years. I'd love to know if this is it. What do you think? You've been in MPL a long time. I think there's this many that often, like last year before.
I don't think. Well, do you know what? Maybe we are more aware of it.
That's what I say, because you've got the stats and all that now.
But I can't see it being as bad before. There's been a hell of a lot. You're looking at maybe 5, 6 a weekend between the 3 leagues.
Seems like a lot of red cards. But anyway, most importantly, there's loads of goals. Probably big game. To be fair, Marconi Sydney United was a big game as well, the way Sydney United have been recently. But I think Apia Rockdale was a game that everyone was sort of looking at in the background. 3-2. Did you see the highlights of that?
Yeah, I've seen a bit of it. Yeah. Well, those games, they can go either way. They're both big teams, and I was hoping for a draw, to be honest. But Apia were always going to be better than what they were the week before.
Yeah.
They're always going to bounce back. They've got a lot of experienced campaigners, and you're expecting them to fight back after what had happened the week before.
Yeah.
So, Rockdale are, again, a top side with a lot of different options, and everyone thinks they're just Euro, but no, they're not.
No, a good side.
You can see their goals,
and
they can play the ball around really well. We've played against Rockdale and Apia, and I've been around in this league long enough to tell if they're good sides. And Rockdale, when we played them, we had a 2-2 draw. It was a fantastic game.
That's the first game of the season, wasn't it?
Second game. Yeah, it was a fantastic game. If you were neutral watching that, and a lot of my friends have, they've said, your league's really good, Fleay. It's a top league. I said, that's that game.
I said, no, it's not.
It's that game there, right? And then they watched Sydney Olympic Marconi, which was a big game too, fiery, end to end.
Red card.
Yeah, red card, last goal, minute, Marco scores a goal, and that was a fast game too.
Yeah.
Well, and I can say the Marconi Apia match was a cracker. They got us. I've been on the losing side of 2 cracking games: the Apia match and the Sydney United match. Right? We lost in the 95th and the 94th, right? But I'll tell you what, the football in those matches, if you were a supporter or involved with that club, you left there happy. With it. You're like, yeah, all right, I was upset that we lost, but us fans or families or our board can't be upset with that. That was a cracking game of football. Our players go to the end with whatever they've got, and they just came up short. Just. So, you know, that's footy, you know. I'd rather be playing those type of games, and that's what brings people to the games, you know, the end to end.
100%. Well, that's something I would love to try and push for. I don't know how we can do it, but to get more people to the games. I went to the Rockdale Olympic game. It was a good crowd because they had the Legends match on before it. They had, and I took one of my mates who doesn't come to any NPL games, and he's like, "This is unbelievable." They had pig on the spit, or lamb on the spit. Sorry, they had an ice cream van, Legends game. I was like, mate, this is
beer
not.
On tap.
Beer on tap. Stone and Wood plus the Rockdale. I was like to mate, this is not every week, by the way. I was like, I've been to a few games that you don't get this everywhere. He's like, I'd come every week if it was like this. And it was a good crowd, and I thought it would be amazing because there's families there. There's people, some mates there, we having a few pints, watching the football. But how do you get that? How do you recreate that? Different places.
Yeah, look, I think some teams have to play at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
The 3 o'clock we played against Sydney United. There was crowd, man.
Oh, was it?
There was crowd.
Was that Saturday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday 3 o'clock is good for Sydney United, I believe. You know?
Yeah.
Marconi, they're traditionally a 7 o'clock Saturday game, so they want you to go into the club, have something to eat after the game, maybe go on the poker machines. There's gambling. There's everything in there, right?
Yeah.
But Sydney United, 3 o'clock kickoffs on a Sunday, they'll get crowd because the young kids, they got school Monday, but 3 o'clock to 5:30 they're home if they live around the area. They've watched the game. They've seen some of their heroes go around. Like I saw friends there. I'd say they're my friends. They're Croatian guys who've been following Sydney United for years, and they're going, "Fleas and this man, look at the crowd." There was crowd there, man. There was crowd. So
yeah, Adrian said it was quite traditional in terms of it was church then football. That's why they've kept it that. So it's a tradition. They used it.
I would love it. That's the one thing. Even Spirit played 2 weeks ago at home, and it was just like they call it Tribe Day, but they had all the youth there.
It would look mobbed.
And it was, well, it's just better. Football's better than a crowd, isn't it? Of course it is.
I think that's obviously like you look at the big clubs like your City Uniteds and your Marconis that have like a background of
following,
from Italians of bloody the Croatians, the Serbian community. When that kind of been put on the back burner a bit, I think that it kind of turned a lot of people off that maybe did go.
Potentially.
So it's one of them that, like, you'll obviously know more about that than us, but in terms of, do you think that the clubs have suffered as a result of trying to kind of take the clubs away from their roots to a degree?
Yeah, in that division, in our division, the NPL space, you can't go away from your culture.
Yeah.
Like Marconi is Italian culture, and Sydney United is a Croatian culture, and Sydney Olympics got a Greek culture. Yes, you can have fans of different nationalities, but at the end of the day, the Crows fill that place, and if they get a run in the cup, you saw what happens.
Yeah, of course,
5,000 there. And the same will happen for Marconi and for Olympic. You know, like all you need is a little run of games, and they start coming back. You know? Yeah. And like you said, they had lamb on the spit. They got a beer. If you make it inviting as well for adults, you know, the kids can go on the castles, jumping castles behind the goals, you know, and have some fun. You get 2,000-3,000. You can. It's possible. It's not out of reach. You've got to make it viable. You've got to try to engage your culture. That's what I think.
There should be a job role within clubs, and maybe it is, but like a community, somebody who's in charge of trying to drive that and get people to the stadium. Because again, it's revenue as well for the club, isn't it? You're getting revenue at the club, but most importantly, if I was a player and Marconi wanted to sign you, Sydney wanted to sign me, and Marconi are really starting to set us up, look at 2,000-3,000, Sydney United is only 200 or 300. It could be a determining factor of going there. You want to play in front of fans.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it'd be, I don't know the answer to it, but I think that'd be brilliant, man, just to get, especially if the whole second tier thing goes ahead. Who knows if it will or not, but there should be a drive for it now. Get people back now, start pushing for it and look for avenues and ways they can do that, because it's brilliant, man. Isn't it said, I'm not Macedonian, I'm not Greek, but going to that game was brilliant.
Aye.
Brilliant.
And it's funny, Phil enjoyed it as well, as you say.
Aye, Scottish mate who's never...
An interest in NPL football, really.
And he starts asking questions about the players. Oh, who's that guy? Who's it?
Aye.
And I'm trying to explain who people are. And he takes an interest in it. But he's got no interest in the A-League.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, Olympic... we'll go back to the Apia game. That's Apia, a point off Rockdale?
Mm-hmm.
Still 8 off Wanderers. Usually the same as Apia, aren't you? 22?
I think we're 22 as well.
So very tight in that sort of 2nd to 6th. Wanderers obviously sniffed it away a wee bit. But Eurosev's goal was good.
That was a good goal.
A very good finish. But it looked like for the highlights, Apia potentially deserved to win it for the chances.
No, I agree. I do agree. I think that Jack Stewart's goal was a good finish.
Mm-hmm.
Put it at top corner from where he did. There was another good goal.
What, in that game?
Mm-hmm. Lachlan Constable.
Oh, that was a cracker.
Aye.
That was a cracker. It was a cracker last week as well.
Aye, two in a row.
Aye, cool. Well, good result for Apia. They're back in the mix. That top 5 starting to settle a wee bit. We've got Blacktown City, Marconi, Rockdale, Apia.
And Wanderers.
Probably Wanderers are the only one people wouldn't have touted to be in there at the start of the year, I'd imagine.
Definitely.
Well, some of the experts tipped us to come 9th or 10th. So,
Really?
I said 14th.
yeah. Oh, look, we lost 14 players in the off season, so
Yeah, okay.
I guess people look at that and go, "Oh, 14 players, they're going to struggle." You know, so
What?
you know, we
I understand struggling, might not win it, might not be top 3, but 4th, 10th is a bit of a drop, that.
well, there's a long way to go.
Aye,
Still,
aye.
You know, we might come 14th, but I hope not. We get sacked. So in this comp, it's a tight comp. It's just if you've got a little bit of experience and a goal scorer, a real good one, and you can hold your nerve in the tight moments, you can be at the top of the ladder with not even hitting your straps. You know,
Yeah.
like we haven't really hit our straps yet, I believe. I think we can play a bit better, and we've had Dom and JT out for a considerable time. Now they're back and they're getting on their feet again, and their fitness is getting stronger. So we get to see the best out of them too.
Well, we'll talk about Marconi another week then. I said that you just didn't look like you've been playing that well, but he's a winning games, you're getting the goals sometimes late, but like they've not, I'm like, Marconi haven't actually hit form, it looks like, yet, but they're still getting the points on the board, whereas Apia, for me, when I watched them, sometimes looked really good, but they weren't getting the points.
Yeah.
So as interested, if she's hit form, quite fancy yourself as the season goes on to maybe get 9th or 10th if you keep.
Fingers crossed.
And then we played Olympic on Sunday. Terrible game of football. Talk about NPL standards. It was shocking. The ground, Belmore wasn't ideal, to be honest. It was so scrappy.
Already?
Just bumpy. It's bumpy. It's like uneven all the different areas. Like the wings different from the centre. It's just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like people play rugby on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Both teams said the same. It was very scrappy, very transitional, and then red card changed the game, as you'd imagine. But we went 1-0 up for a penalty, a handball, which was a handball to be fair, and then Parkhouse does what he does, scores a cracker in the corner, and then a very, very sketchy penalty in the last minute.
Have you seen the penalty?
No, I haven't seen.
It was a very, I'm not going to, I had my rant about referees last week, but sketchy penalty in about the 89th minute or something like that, and I don't even filed in the top bin.
It's never a penalty.
There was I didn't think it was a penalty.
No.
There was nothing in the game, to be honest. Naturally, they had more pressure because we had 10 men, but neither keeper really had a ton to do.
Yeah.
They had a lot of field possession, that, but good win for them. They needed a win. Disappointing for us to lose, considering we went 1-0 up. Try to hold off with 10 men, but a red card.
A long time to play with 10 men as well, man.
55 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
And it's hard, like to get a red card and concede a penalty. You're not going to do yourself any favours. Very hard to win a game if that happens to you. Anyway, Wanderers back to pumping teams and another 3-0 win.
And Nathaniel Blair another 2 goals, man.
Top scorer, peeling away. 2 red cards, we've touched on that already. But Wanderers, I'm surprised Blacktown didn't score. They usually play.
Every game, I think.
Must be close to it anyway,
Aye.
And then Manly got 3 points, close down that bottom half, because we're talking about the top half being tight, but the bottom half, I feel like there's a top half, top 6, there's a little bit of a gap, like I think it was 6th, 7th and 8th, and then it plummets down to like 8 points difference. You've got that sort of 10th to
10th to 16th.
16th, it's very tight, and all Central Coastal fell off a wee bit, they're on 4 or something.
A wee bit.
They're on 4.
I'm on 4, so they're struggling a lot.
They're not as bad as the table, even that.
I thought that as well, I thought alright.
Yeah, they push the ball around really well, just lack a little bit of experience. That's a real academy team. They don't have the players like, like Sapsford and Blair and Priestman and Hammond and Eunice. These guys all train first grade. That's a stacked team. It's a really, really good football team. And they're not 17 or 18, 19-year-old kids. They're men.
Yeah.
Most of them will be in their 20s except for Eunice, I guess. So there's a future looks bright for them if they use them right and they don't lose them. If they can keep a hold of all those players, like we'd like a few of them, so if they want to let a few go. So there's some good players in that West Wanderers team.
Yeah. You know what? It's good because looking at Wanderers, they don't concede a lot of goals either.
No,
they score. They're scoring what?
But but again, if you're playing against a team who are 3-0 up after 15 minutes, sort of knocks the wind out of you. I mean, they beat St George, was it 3-0 or 5-0 at half time?
At half time, aye.
You're not going to concede many at that point because our team's just heads are gone.
Aye, 100%.
And they seem to be overwhelming teams very early on. I think that's what seems to be happening.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's Rockdale's only teams beat them. I think they beat them 3-2. 3-2, aye. So, but again, it can change very quickly. Sydney United started off very slow, didn't look great, and they've been on an absolute mission.
I actually think that Wanderers have got Apia this weekend.
Oh, have they, aye?
I think so, aye.
That'd be a good game, aye. We've got St George Saints. Beat Hills 1-0.
1-0.
Yep, Hills have been struggling as well for a while. They've been struggling, Hills.
They might, I think that them and Central Coast are probably the two that are struggling the most.
Yeah, in the last few weeks anyway, aye.
Sharks aren't far behind, to be fair.
I still think Sharks.
You say Sharks play well.
I just think they've got a young team. I just think they create a lot of chances. Even against Blacktown City away from home, still had the big chances. And I think playing at Seymour Shaw is an advantage to them because the pitch is brutal. Have you played at Seymour Shaw yet? Maya scored, didn't he, later on?
Yeah, it's
not a great
tough
pitch.
place. It's not a real good. It's a terrible pitch. Let's be honest. And I guess they want to fix it as well because you can't attract players to go there. Like seriously, if someone's asking you to go there or to St George where the pitches are new. And you live in that area, you're thinking, I don't want to play there. And the people at Sutherland, they're decent people.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a bad club, it's a good club, but the pitch is horrendous. Let's just be honest. I'm not having a go at them. I'm just saying that we should have a better standard pitch. For them, that's a big catchment of youth over there.
Yeah.
The biggest, I think, one of the biggest next to Manly. So a lot of good players come out of that area. You want to have a good pitch where they can go, you know what, I want to play first grade for Sutherland. When I grow up, I want to be there, So, maybe the council can help them out,
It's just too old, isn't it? It's been a long, long time.
It's got to be changed. That Hensley, it's recently been changed and, the council puts the money up, So they just said, it needs to be new. That's it, simple. So, I hope they get a better pitch one day. For everyone. It's far out for everyone.
It's brutal. Even in the warm-up, balls scattering all over. It's like concrete. It's like concrete. So, your game, big man. Cracking game, 3-2.
Yeah, top game. Look, it's the massive rivalry, Sydney United versus Mount Marconi. That goes back to the 60s. It's a long rivalry, and it doesn't matter where they are on the table or where we are. It's always the same. It's like a war. It is. Like my dressing room, they were ready for war. There's Serbs in there, there's Massos, there's Greeks, and Sydney United always bring it on. They're not a team that sits back or is soft.
Yeah.
They're tough. It's in their DNA to fight and play football. They play good footy. We got to a good lead. I think maybe a midweek game took a little bit out of us and they didn't have one. They came steaming home. We're a very fit side and they got us far out right on the belt. And it was a great goal to win the match. It popped out to him. It was not like he beat 3 players. It popped out to him and boom, and he's hit it well. And that's the end of the game. You go away with nothing. Your players are all, their heads in their hands after the matches and they're upset, they're devastated, but you've got to move on from that. You can't just dwell on what just happened. We've got another game on Wednesday against ST Raiders who, they're not far up the road from us and there's history between clubs there too. So
Is that the Australia Cup?
Yeah.
Already?
already we got back to back.
Are you in it?
Maybe us.
Oh, they beat us in the last
Let me
minute.
tell you about his team. They're a good side. They pushed us to the
Keeper's
90.
brutal.
No, played me.
He didn't play. But that team, I've done a little bit of research on them. I know some of the players, and you look at the videos because you can get them these days. In the 80s, 90s, 2000s, in NPL, there was no videos. There was no internet. We didn't even have mobile phones. You know, like in the 80s. So to get coverage on them, and I knew that they were going to be tough. I knew that who they had, and it took a bit out of us. Yes, it did. We didn't want to go out of the cup. We put a fairly strong side out there. All right, we left 5 out, but when you leave 5 out, it's not a lot.
You've got good depth,
You've got young kids who want to become footballers. They've got to stand up and make a name for themselves on that night. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
And to their credit, they got out of there with a win. You know, and we got out of there. And you moved to Sydney United. It was a tough game. You know, both sets of fans went home thinking, what a top game was that. You know,
Yeah.
you can't argue with that.
That's what happens. Obviously, you can't get a top game every game, but it happens in professional football as well. Sometimes you watch the Premier League, 80% of the games are absolutely shite.
No, that's true.
And brutal to watch. You only get a cracking game. Even watching some of the top games, was it Arsenal and Liverpool, Man City, sorry.
Arsenal, Man City.
Was it Arsenal, Man City? Brutal.
It's terrible.
Brutal to watch. Happens all the time. You can't get entertaining football games every single time you watch it, but that's good to hear it was a good game. Good result for Sydney United again. They're on.
Yeah.
I know they haven't won a ton. Like they've won what? They're not on a run, but they've won what 6 of the last 8 or something.
They've been winning more frequently. Obviously,
Aye,
at the start
and
of
they're
the
climbing
year,
up. They're in the mix now for the playoffs.
100%, yeah.
Aye, so good on them. And then Wolves.
Almost shut.
I was in chucked away. I thought no, they won.
Yeah, 1-3-2. So they were obviously 2-0 up, and then at half time, and Sydney FC brought it back to 2 each. Wolves scored in the last minute of normal time for a 3-2 win. I think they maybe needed that a wee bit.
Wolves, they've been a sticky patch, haven't they?
And maybe
like a
obviously
start.
the manner of the win will give them a bit of a rocket up the backside, because it's one of them last minute goal, take 3 points, you've been struggling. Maybe it's a bit of a turning point for them to kick
I think it's
off.
going to be hard to break into that playoff. I think the way Wanderers are going, Marconi, Apia, Rockdale, I think those 4
Sydney United
are going to be
close.
strong. And Sydney United are now pushing through. Blacktown City are always going to be there.
Olympic are close as well.
Olympic? Nah.
They're not quite close though.
15 points.
Olympic, I'm sorry.
But you know what? They do have a squad.
Squad's ridiculous, but I would be amazed if they break into that top 6.
Right.
They're individual players. They could play for almost any NPL one side.
They've got
Unbelievable.
a lot of depth. Maybe they've got a few injuries at the moment, but you can't count them out with this amount of games to go, 19 games.
15 points off the top of the league.
Not to win the comp, but, you know, this is Australia, it's a finals.
Yeah.
Finals series, mate. You know, they'll be telling their players, well, I would be, that you're a chance to win the grand final.
Yeah.
There's a cup involved, you know, like you got to keep working towards it, you know.
Oh, they could get in that top 5, aye. But looking at them versus everyone else I've seen so far, they've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, fair.
They don't look individually brilliant. Like Parkhouse, superb.
He looked
O'Donovan, brilliant.
Yeah.
They've got some. I think Varkas wasn't playing, but they've got some cracking players. But I don't think as a team.
Marcus has got some
He's been brilliant this year.
extreme pace, you know. George Antonis is a good young
He was
player.
good. He was good at the weekend. He
You
was
know,
good.
like I'd love to have a kid like him in your team. He still wants to play A-League, and he's got a point to prove. He was released from the Wanderers, and he's a good little player.
Oh, brilliant. As I'm saying, individually I think they're really good, but I think as a squad, as a team, they've not really been great. Actually, the best I've seen them play was the first 20 minutes against you.
They were on fire.
On fire.
Yeah, we weathered the storm and made some changes at half time. We you know, the changes made the difference. You know, so yeah, sometimes it works for you, the changes, and sometimes they don't. That day they did. So we were lucky to get that. When it fell our way, you know, we won the game.
Brilliant. So on to NPL 2. Northern Tigers turned their fortunes. They won 2-1 against Nepean, but they scored in the 97th minute to win the game.
They needed that win. They
needed it.
They've been getting battered the last few
Nepean are
weeks.
struggling, still only one win against us.
Oh, Harry Barges 4-0.
The Tuesday night, aye. But aye, they're having a hard time of it. Hakoah, you can actually talk to us about this game. Hakoah, that's 11 games unbeaten.
Brilliant. Fair play to him.
I was at that game. I actually came out of the canteen and went and stood with Gavin Ray, and we watched the game together. Look, I've got a soft spot for both teams. I've been at Hensley for 16 years, so I was there when they were in Division 4, whatever it was called, and I've watched them come all the way up, so I feel like I'm a part of the club. But in saying that, I was 7 years at Bankstown when they were in the NPL 1, and we won a lot of trophies there, and it's still the same people there.
Yep.
They've got a big club feel about them. You know, they're trying to win a comp. They got on a roll, and at one stage there in that match, I thought they were going to go away with it, and they had a few chances and they didn't put them away. And then Harcoa, how do I explain it? It's a working class team. They just kept grinding away, kept going at it, kept going, and then they looked super fit. So they just came home, and any chance they got going into that box, the last 10 minutes, you thought they were going to score.
Oh, okay.
And then they did. And then right bang on the buzzer, they got them.
Oh, was it last minute?
In 94th minute.
Ofties.
We were 2-1 down. And
How did Bankstown City look? Because
Oh,
obviously,
they look good. They'll be in the mix. Look, when you lose those type of games, I know about it. I lost one, just recently, and it can hurt you. But you just got to move on. You just got to put it behind you and say, okay, we're preparing for so and so. Whoever they've got next week, let's put that behind us. Let's work on what went wrong, because they have what it takes to win games. And they've got Paney and they got players who can win games.
did he play?
Yeah. So I
think the young boy, Mabel Grant, scored twice again.
Oh, did he?
Aye.
So they were a little unlucky, Bankstown. Like, I won't say Harcoa deserved to win, but they came home strong. If that was a draw, I would have went deserved draw.
Result,
Yeah.
They deserved a draw,
So entertaining game though. So you had a good weekend of football.
Yeah. Well, when you work at a ground, you get to watch a lot of footy.
Yeah.
I watched Harcoa come up 3 divisions, and they were winning a lot. So I used to watch all the games, and you get to see young guys, and maybe you can get them to the club that you're coaching, or it's a part of the game.
Basically trying to steal players.
So is it scouting office you canteen?
Yeah, I'm scouting always. There was a guy there from Spirit once. I tried to nick Kyle Shaw.
Oh, brilliant. He plays for us now. Starts every week.
Yeah. I watched him in I think it was a 16s game, and I just went out there and said, "Whose parents? Who are the parents of this kid?" And I got to meet his mum, and then the dad didn't really want to borrow me. He just said, "Nah." I said to him, I'm at Marconi. I'm an assistant coach. I didn't know that they had plans for him to be in the first grade, so I was just looking at a 16-year-old.
Yeah, of course.
He'd scored a goal, taken a penalty, and he had leadership qualities. I just thought, I'll ask him,
It's no harm.
That's the guy that you pointed out before.
Aye, good player.
Yeah,
Very good.
good young player.
He could. Out of all the people I've seen from our squad, he's the one person who I think could play.
Because he's young
higher.
as well, eh?
He's young, mate, but he's.
He can't be more than 19.
Nah, he's like 9, I think he's 19, but he's 6 foot 2 or 3. He's stacked, but he's like so calm on the ball.
He's a centre back now, yeah.
Centre back starts every week.
I went and watched him, mate, and then I only watched half the game when he was brilliant. I said to him straight away, the centre back is quality.
He's obviously got a lot of things to. He's not young,
Of
but
course.
he's got potential 100%. I think last year quite a few teams were asking questions about him. But very good player, one to watch. So good eye for detail there, mate. For Kyle Shaw at 16.
Oh yeah, I picked up a lot of players out of this.
We'll be playing against Hensley.
Out of Hensley, I'll say, not out of Spirit, but out of Hensley. Maybe I'll try and get Kyle Shaw. But Perko won't be happy with that.
In Alliance, came away from Mount Drew with a 1-1 draw.
That's right, I met John Theo at the weekend actually.
Oh, did you?
He was at the Olympic game.
Aye.
He said he played well. Didn't he?
1-0 up, and then Dave.
So it was a very transitional game.
Aye, that's what suits Mount Drew. They scored with 10 minutes to go. Good point for Alliance. SD Raiders.
Did you watch the highlights of them? Because you're playing them Wednesday.
I haven't seen it all, but I'll probably watch it when I leave because I'm going here.
Oh, yeah.
That's
and,
right.
and have a look at them proper.
They done well at the weekend,
I've seen
man.
them play against Harcoa, so
Yeah,
I know their quality.
Do you know what? They were decent against us. I thought they were good, but they were on that. I mean, they'd never scored for 4 weeks. They hadn't scored any goals, and then they beat Dunbar 2-1 at the weekend.
They had a few players missing for a while, and now I think they're
coming
come
back.
back from injury. That's what I've heard. So what I saw wouldn't be their team
Yeah,
right now.
they were decent against us, man. They beat Bulls 2-1 at the weekend.
Good result.
It's a very good result. Moving on, to Spartans beat Rowdomere 3-2.
It was on Friday night.
Yes, it was, and rumour has it that it's resulted in a coaching change at Rowdomere.
Oh, really?
That's what the word in the street is.
So that means that you know Rowdomere quite well, mate, so you know that.
I would
that's what's
supposedly
happening.
that's what's happened. Is it's led to a change in the running of the club.
So what, do you know who the new gaffer's going to be?
Don't know anything else. Just that there's, like, as I said, literally it was on Saturday that they said I think Anthony Hart left after that game.
Oh, so he's gone? He's 100% gone?
That's what, unless it's changed from Saturday to today, but that was at the weekend. That's what was.
Interesting. But it sounds like he's left on his own accord?
Yeah, it sounds like he's left.
Okay, fair dues. USW lost 4-3.
4-3 to Berries.
Did that let go again?
Nah, we're 4-1 down, mate.
Oh, were you?
So we went 1-0 up.
Did you play?
Nah.
No.
Went 1-0 up and then conceded 4. 2 in the first half, I think. 3 in the first half, 1 in the second half. And then one of the subs come on, Keegan Buck, scored twice in the last maybe 15 minutes. And then had a chance Keegan again had a chance to make it 4 each. He didn't manage to put it away, but we lost 4-3. I think it was one of those games that you left a game and it was like a bit of a nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like they weren't great, we were poor. Like it wasn't like, there was no quality in the game. That's probably the best way to put it. It wasn't a game that was like, that was good or they were good at this. It was just a shite game.
I think your team could do better.
Oh, 100% we
I
could.
think you could be higher up the table with that lineup.
I reckon that
You've got Fulton and Lopez. And
100%. I reckon we could be in the top
Burke,
4.
Burke, what's the guy at the back? What's his name?
Luke Buck, yeah.
Yeah, he's solid.
He's a good buck.
So, was he playing?
Nah. Oh no, he was playing Saturday. Yeah, he was. He played.
Because he didn't play against us.
Didn't play against you. He was coming back from an injury.
Yeah, solid players. Kevin
100%.
Lopez play?
Yeah, Kevy came off on. He was
He's
on starting the
injured,
bench.
isn't
Yeah, he's not 100%.
Good.
Yeah, so I mean, I agree. I reckon I said this in the very start. I think that we actually have a very good squad. We've just
Long way to go.
100%.
Hopefully, you pull it together and get some results because you were very good against us.
Yeah.
Where are you in the league?
must be 10th, 11th.
Same as Marconi will finish up at the end of the season.
No, they're 14th.
Maybe. You don't know. It's all my way. You get a couple of injuries.
You know, mate. They're not finished.
But do you know what, mate? I think the thing with us that's frustrating is that we can lift to a level of performance against you on the Tuesday night, and then we go out and play.
It happens, but then it happens because everyone reads us.
You should see what happens when they come to our ground. If we get a home cup and it's a lower team, oh my God, they go nuts.
It's a cup final, eh?
Yeah, and then we got to weather the storm. And some of our players, they're not Marconi. It's not their culture. They're from Mariners, Youth Academy. Some are from, like we've picked up players from all sorts of places, so they don't know.
What's
And
about?
once you get here, the jersey's heavy. It's a heavy jersey. Once you put it on, you'll see everyone's looking at you. You know, like if you have 6 good games in a row, you could be a chance to play A-League. You know, like Jack Gibson, he was playing for the Wanderers. They let him go. He come to us. He went back to the Wanderers in the next window. Like you're just saying, anything's possible.
Yeah, of course.
Like Justin Vidic, he plays for the Jets, all right? He was a youth player, our youths. He was playing 16s, 18s. He shot into first grade.
Is he on loan to you?
No, he was ours, Justin
okay,
Vidic.
okay.
He was a Marconi Junior.
Yep.
And he got picked up. He's now with the Jets. Like,
Yeah.
anything's possible if you play 4 or 5 really good games and the coach likes what you do. Away you go. So everyone watches us and United.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand, yeah. One of the biggest, I'm saying top 6, top 7 teams.
Um,
And Dilly lost to Bonnyrigg 2-1.
and MacArthur Rams drew nothing each with Dunbar.
Cool, MPL 3.
Oh, mad. Camden equalised against Mounties in the 96th minute, 1 each. Hurstville scored their winner against Sydney Union in the 94th minute.
I've Sydney Union won a game yet?
Bankstown United beat Hawkesbury 5-3. Mitchell Cross scored another 2 goals. Inner West Hawks beat Fraser Park 4-1.
Jacob Palamides scored the hat-trick.
Yeah, scored 3. And Takuma scored the other goal. And blah blah. That's what else. Glenville Red Magic
There you
lost
go, Justin Vidic.
1-0 to Central Coast
Very good
United.
kid.
And Newcastle Jets beat Granville Rage 2-1. Prospect 0, Parramatta
Tomlinson
3.
Todorowsky scored again.
But no, Jets the Rage lost 2-1.
You wrote
No,
Tomlinson
that's
Todorowsky.
Just ignore that bit at the bottom, mate.
It wouldn't be a week of champion football without this being an error on this page.
100%, mate. I was going far too well.
Who Todd Rossi scored?
No, that just clear that whole bit, that bullet point away.
Cool. And then top scorers, is this accurate?
Yes, this is accurate.
So Nathaniel Blair's on 12,
Andre Martin's on 11.
and Arnold's on 16. Who's your top scorer?
Timokovsky will
I
need to
think
be.
Timokovsky's got 5.
But has he been injured for a bit?
He was missing for 3 games. So what are we at now? 10 games?
11 games. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he missed 3 games and he was on the bench for the game he came back. So basically 4 games.
So he's played 7 games, scored 5 goals.
And he scored in the cup as well.
Scored 2 against us, didn't he?
Yeah.
Cup goals don't count.
Gary was saying that Timokovsky doesn't score any goals, and I was like, we scored 2 against us.
I didn't know he was injured for 3 games either. We talked about him last week and I thought, he's not scored recently.
He scored.
I didn't know he was injured for 3 games.
Yeah, he was out for 3 months.
That's why.
Yeah, he's a quiet guy, doesn't say too much, but yeah, he's one of those guys, if you poke him enough, he'll kill you, you know. Yeah, so
he's a good player. Good player.
He's great. He's got his eyes set on going places, and that's what you want. You want players who want to go further in their career.
Oh, ambitious, 100%.
100%.
It drives the whole standards of the whole team up, because everyone wants that.
So, Flea, talk about you, mate.
What do you want to talk about?
I've got-
to go with this.
Mate, we'll start with a wee bit of a summary of your playing career.
Okay, well, I played a long time ago, boys. I'm 55, so
I'm testing your memory here.
Yeah, I played in the 80s, 90s, and in the early 2000s. So, like, I played mainly NPL, right? So I played. My first taste was in '85. I was at the Berries. I was called Canterbury.
Sorry to interrupt you just there. See the structure at that time? There was NSL.
Yeah, so there was NSL.
Yep.
Then there was the NPL was called State League.
Right, okay.
So it's called State League. 1, 2, 3. Then they changed the names a little bit later on in the 90s. They went to State League, then Super League 1, because it was one was in the summer and the other was in the winter.
Right.
So the NSL went to the summer, and one of the state leagues went to the summer too.
Right.
And then the rest was playing in the winter.
Uh-huh.
So I tried to play as much as possible in the summer so I could go to the Greek islands in the winter. So
Outstanding.
and a lot of people tried that, you know, get away on holidays and have fun and whatever. It was a little bit where Australians wanted to travel around the world too, you know. They wanted to play footy and then travel and come back, and if you made it to the NSL, I was lucky. I played a few games. You know, I went to Heidelberg for a little while, and I played for Apia as a junior, and I was their youth captain in '87 when they won everything in the NSL. They were like the big club, but they lost the grand final to St George, and I learned a lot that year watching that side. That '87 side was just magnificent. They had Socceroos and Catholis and Terry Butler, and the names were just unbelievable. Arno Bertogna, Charlie Yankos, these guys had all played for Australia and were current. Some of them were current Socceroos, and you couldn't break in. John Paul Demarini was left back. Mark Brown was right back. Skipper was Arno Bertogna, and Charlie Yankos was captain of Australia. So I was like the centre back behind those two. So every day was just a lesson. I was learning. You know.
So you see that Juliana a lot from
Yeah, and when they used to call you to train with first grade, it was like a real honour. I thought Rally Rasic was the coach. Like, he was like my hero, these guys, you know. And there I was only 17 or 18, and I was training with them. I was way out of my depth, but I just pretended that I was right. You know, I was right for the position. So I learned a lot, and then I did the right thing. I went and played State League, because I was never going to break into that team or other NSL teams, because back then no players travelled. So in Europe there was Craig Johnston. You heard of him?
No, I don't know who that is.
All right, so he played for Liverpool. Craig Johnston. He was like a superstar. Like
What year is that? What, the 90s?
in the 80s.
80s
when they won the European Cups.
Right, okay.
He
Craig
was
Johnson.
Craig Johnston. Yeah. He invented the Predator boot.
Craig Johnson invented the Predis.
Yeah, he's an Aussie. Yeah, an Aussie invented that.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. He's a Newcastle boy, and he had the long hair. They had a commercial on him. Anyway, they won the FA Cup. He brought it to Australia. He actually bought the FA Cup on an aeroplane here. It was amazing. Anyway, let's not talk about him. He's just a superstar. You've got to look him up. Google him tonight.
I made the Predators.
He invented the Predator. Yeah. I'm quite sure he did. Yeah. So.
Oh, they're quite sure.
No, I'm sure Craig Johnson invented it. Yeah. So I played a bit at like state league. So the Berries, I played 5 years there. I played at Stanmore Hawks when they were MPL 1, and I actually went to them when they were MPL 2, and we won the comp, got promoted, and I played a few years there. Then I went to the NSL. I played for Heidelberg. I didn't play much, but geez, I enjoyed the nightlife in Melbourne. Let me tell you, it was unreal, man. My two best friends lived there, Nick and Vince, and we were out every single night. There was no such thing. There was no such thing as
Lockouts and that.
phones and videos and all that. You were out every night.
Oh,
and the
magic.
nightclubs, there was like 100 nightclubs in Melbourne, so you couldn't get caught, you couldn't get in trouble. It was just magnificent. Yeah, I didn't last too long. They kicked me out. They sent me back to Sydney. And I started playing. I wanted to play in the summer so I could travel, because I really had that travel bug, right? So I played for teams who would pay the most money. That was it, we got 4 or 5 friends, and we went to a team together, and we all played in the same team. We won, I won a double at Dulwich Hill, and that was, Super League 1. I won a double at Stanmore, that was Super League 2. I won with this team called Sydney Cosmos, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I won the double there, and I went straight to Greece with a bonus. Whatever money, our owner, his name was George, don't think he's alive anymore, but he just gave me the cash like this. He goes, here's your bonus. And I was like, it's so much in a hurry to get out of the country. I thought, I'm just going to spend all this,
In the airport.
Yeah, so I won a lot of trophies in the state league, right?
Yeah.
And then I went to the Minotaurs, and we were coming into my 30s, right? And they were like a strong MPL team that never really won anything, right? They're now an association team, right? But once upon a time, they were strong, and we won it. It was a 33-game comp, and we had this guy, Louis Dunas, up front, and he scored 38 goals, man. Like, we just got the ball to him all day, route 1 to Louis Dunas, and he was giving us win bonuses every week.
Like Louis Dunas, what a guy.
Yeah, multi-millionaire. Jesus Christ, what a man.
Do the goals.
Yeah, no, he's one of my best friends, to be honest.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so we've stayed close friends. He has he collects Greek artifacts, like museum. Like, he has helmets from the wars back then. Like, he's like.
That's why he hangs about with you. You're a great artifact.
I just love him. He's just anyway. So I won a lot of trophies there, and I fell into coaching after that. I played till I was 36, and I just I was playing for Stanmore. I was 35, and the coach had gone overseas for 2 weeks, and they said, "Oh, you're the captain. Just take the team for 2 weeks." And I took it really serious. I thought, "Oh man, I'm the coach." So I just set up the team. We were playing. I'll never forget it. My first game was. They were Auburn, Uruguay. They were like Auburn, they were called it. They had a little Turkish background. They had some Uruguayans. Anyway, they were coming first. We were like a mid-table team. I said, "No, we're going to bunker here, and then we're going to get them on the counter. We're just going to get them on the counter." We had one fast guy up front.
Get Louis Dunas on.
Lou was playing for St George at the time. He left me. So we bunkered. In the first minute, like, we're sitting back, and they tried to play a through ball to their centre forward, and I skipped in front of him. I've nicked it, and it's bobbling. Arlington Oval was like a beach of sand, grass or shit, right? And I just smashed it as hard as I could, and it's curled around the defender, and my bloke's run onto it, and he scored, and we're winning 1-0. I go, "Captain Coachy, I'm blitzing,
This is easy.
This is an easy gig, right?" So we're 1-0 up, and it was the 6th minute. And honestly, we defended for 94 minutes, man. They thought I was a genius. I just thought, maybe I can do this, but I was way out of my depth. I needed to learn a lot more. Be a coach, right? I got married that year in the off season, and we went on my honeymoon with my wife, and I got a phone call, and the guy was the head coach of Sydney Olympic in the NSL. His name was Peter Papanakidis, and I didn't know him personally, but we knew each other. And he goes, "Do you want to come and be my assistant coach at Olympic?" And I automatically thought it was a stitch-up. So I'm going, "Is this really you, Pat? Is that you? Say the truth." He's going, "Would I be ringing Greece if it's not?" I go, "Just prove it to me it's you." He goes, "All right, I'll go to your shop," because I then had a cafe. Right? Well, I was away. Anyway, he rang me from the cafe. He goes, "I'm in your cafe." I went, "Okay, this guy's serious."
Okay.
So I said, "When I come back, we'll have a chat." He goes, no, I just want to know right now, will you be my assistant? I said, I guess so. I was about to retire anyway.
Yeah.
It's 36, I was done, right? Yeah, and that's how I fell into coaching with him. It was the last season of the NSL, and then the NSL folded, and there was a break between the A-League. When the A-League started, it started 18 months later. So that 18 months, there was a gap. The NPL was a strong comp because there was Sydney United, Olympic, Blacktown, all those teams, they were already NPL, and the NSL teams fell into these comps. So the Sydney ones fell into there,
Right.
Melbourne ones went to Melbourne, Adelaide went to Adelaide, right? And I was with Olympic, and this guy retired. This Peter Papanakidis, he retired, and Johnny Doyle was the coach there. It was like he was a famous coach of kids and youth. And he had a fantastic name. He had a program called Captain Socceroo. He was on TV, so he was well respected. Personally, I don't think he liked me. He just thought I wasn't good enough for him. But I stayed true to him. I worked my guts out. I did whatever he told me to do. I picked up cones for him. I never spoke. I did everything, and I learnt that day what not to do to one of my staff. Like, I felt he mistreated me. He might not think that. I'm not embarrassed to say it, you know. I felt I learned a lot about being a man, and I grew up quick, and I just said, you know what, this coaching is not easy. Maybe it's not for me. But deep inside me, I just said, you know what, my chance will come. Someone will, you know, give me a go, and I'll be a coach. And I got a phone call from Peter Tsakenis. He was at Bankstown, and I had tried to sign him at Olympic. Come back to Olympic. He had captained the club for a very long time.
Was he a defender as well?
Yeah, he was a defender, right? So we wanted him back at Olympic. Johnny Doyle thought he was too old. I mean, he's entitled to his opinion here. He wanted someone younger. But I pushed for him. Peter Tsakenis, he's a soldier, man. He's going to kill for you. Didn't happen, didn't come. He went to Bankstown. He was killing it there. And then the coach left to go to Cyprus, and he got the caretaker job. He took over. He rang me, he said, I'm playing, but I want to play, I'm 31. Just come over here and be my assistant. And I just wasn't getting any love from Johnny Doyle, let's just say that. He wasn't treating me, he probably didn't want me, he wanted someone else, and the club didn't want to get rid of me because I was a good person. I'd never done anything wrong by the club. I was a Olympic fan as a kid. I loved the club. I still have a soft spot for them in certain ways. I want them to do well. I want them to have a successful club. You know, I don't want them to fail.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to be behind us, don't get me wrong. But I don't want them
So they'll be 15 or 16?
to get relegated. But I mean, as long as they're not in front of us, you know. So
Yeah, of course.
I went to Bankstown, and I was there for 7 years with Teka. He played the whole time, and I just said to him, we were both young guys. I knew, and he'll tell you this story when you meet him or if you see him. The first training session, we went into this shape, sort of a game, and he was running it, and then I was keeping the time, I was watching it, and it was so fast, slick, the passing was bang, like sharp, and I'm going, and I was just at Olympic, which had all NSL players, and it was slow. And I was looking at these guys, and I pulled him aside, I said, Teka, this team here will win the comp. He just looked at me like, you've been here 10 minutes. I go, I promise you, this team here, I played in this comp, man, 17 years. I've never seen a team pass the ball. They were like grease lightning. The balls just, Noel Arate, George Nora, Daniel Severino, Matthew Borg, Honzala. The names come off because they became my sons. I loved them, right?
Yeah.
I loved these guys. And it was the first team I bonded with as a coach, right? And I'm still friends with them now. Steve Liavas, Zlatko Josevsky, he's the goalkeeper. He's a goalkeeper coach at SD Raiders. And these guys, they were characters. They were warriors. They could play, but they could fight.
Right, yeah.
They could kill for you.
So you won it, perfect combination.
100%.
Yeah, and then we won it. Yeah, we won that. We won the double that year, the first year. And I whispered it to him at the end of,
Told you so.
I told you. Because he hates me saying I told you. I told you we'd win it. And then we won a couple other trophies there, a pre-season trophy. Those days there was a pre-season cup was called a Johnny Warren Cup, I think.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
And then we won a Waratah Cup, which is now it's called Waratah Cup again.
Yep.
It's changed. I think it was called Vodafone Cup back then. I don't know. Anyway, we won that, and we had a successful run there for 7 years, and we, the year later, coming to the end of the 7th year, we had another year to go, and Olympic had approached us, and I never wanted to leave Bankstown, to be honest with you. I never ever wanted to leave them, and I say that out, and I'm not scared to say that. I really love my time there. I've got a soft spot for them, and I never want to see them fail. But when you just feel, maybe it is time to move,
time, yeah.
And then we did. We went to Olympic, and we didn't want to take anyone with us, but all of them, 7 of them, the younger ones, wanted to come. They go, we'll come. We want to come with you. We like what you guys do. So we took a lot of the younger ones who wanted to leave. A lot of them were Greek. They had dreams of playing for Olympic. Will Angel and Damascus and younger kids. They were like, we had a guy Bill Tsanides, and they were young Greek kids. And then we took Richie Luksic and Rob Milewski, who were like the backbone of that team, really. And they wanted to come. They were right in, they bought in on what Seka was doing. And we went to Olympic, and I don't want to talk about us too long on your program, but we won the double there too straight away. And we didn't have no home games. We trained out the back, people complain about training. We trained at this place called Tasker Park. When you go to war Gallipoli and you see the mud, and it's like this thick and deep, and the soldiers have got boots on. We would turn the lights on the cars, and that's no word of a lie. I've kept photos, because people don't believe me, and I show them, I go, look at the mud. It was that deep, man.
Oh wow.
And the boys never complained. We had no dressing rooms, because Belmore was under construction. They were redoing it for the Bulldogs and for Olympic. It was a joint venture.
What year was that?
210.
Oh, so not that long ago?
No, 210, 211.
So I thought it was not long ago.
we won the comp. The second year we came second by a whisker. The third year we won the pre-season cup with every game away, because we had no ground, right? We were away games, and we were playing at Blacktowns. It felt like a home game every week, because we were there every week. We won the pre-season cup.
Yeah.
Whatever it was called. I can't remember the name of it. I'm fried. But it was a long time ago, and we won it. And during the year, everything was going smooth, and then something happened with our youth coach and our 20s coach, and they wanted to move him on. We didn't want to move him on. We liked him. He was doing his job, and it felt wrong. Peter and I didn't agree with that he was going to get fired for not doing anything wrong. Yeah, his results weren't good, but we liked him. He was producing players, right? I'm not going to mention his name or bring things up or they made a decision. They wanted to get rid of him, and it was wrong, and they wanted a certain way, and we didn't agree with it. We were playing against Socceroos. We had a game against the Socceroos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Holger Ossick, I think his name was, the Socceroos coach, asked for a game because we had a good ground. Belmore had just been returfed.
Yeah.
I don't really tell this story much, but I'll tell it. It's, we decided that we weren't going to continue. So, you know what? This guy's getting a sack. It's against what we believe in. Maybe it's time that we just not continue.
Just before the Socceroos game?
Yeah, but after the game.
Oh, after the game,
decision,
yeah, okay.
Right, so we played the Socceroos. We promised them we'd give them a game. We weren't going to rest everyone because we had an important game on the weekend, right? So we rested a couple. Playing Socceroos, it's 1-0 their way, 1-1. It's Socceroos, 2-1, 2-2. And these kids are just starting like scoring 2 crackers against the Socceroos. We're going in at half-time 2-2, and we'd done our job. And I thought, we had all these 16, 17-year-old kids on the bench. Some of them didn't even bring their boots. They just wanted to just come, right? I said to them, all of you get changed. We just sold the whole team, all of them. And we gave them a run, like 16-year-olds, like James Dimitriou, you know who he is?
Yeah, I know
he's at
Spartans.
Yeah. I think Yannis Varakis, he would have been about 16, 17.
Yeah.
And a stack load of young kids. That day, Troy Damascus played, and Omre Gautier, and Will Angel, they were just young. Billy Tsanides. These were young kids living out their dreams,
100%.
playing against the Socceroos. Oh, they got banged, top 5 in the second half, but it was the Socceroos, and they were preparing for a World Cup. So that was the end of our time at Olympic. We had a couple of years off. My wife had kids. I helped her a little bit. Pete, he opened his business. He's a real estate agent. And, we had a little bit of a break. We were offered some jobs. I'm not going to mention the names of the clubs, but we knocked them back. We just thought they weren't a perfect fit. I don't know what we were waiting for. We were just enjoying life. Pete had gone on and done all these certificates, or whatever you call them these days. What are they called?
Diplomas now,
whatever. The guy's played 100 million games and he's got all the certificates anyway. Let's just say that he's ready. And if anyone ever asks me about Peter Tsakenas as a coach, right? Because I've been with him nearly 20 years. Okay? I have no desire to go out and coach on my own. I like being the assistant coach. I like the role he gives me. I like how I have autonomy to do things. He goes with my gut feel. He respects it. But he is absolutely ready to coach A-League by far and easy. He's been around the environment his whole life. He was a young Socceroo, Olyroos. He just missed out on Socceroos, 300 game mate in the NSL. He's won 3 championships with 3 different clubs, 3 grand finals, cups, the lot. Experience is what he's got, all right? He's at that age where he's ready. If someone said to me, you're saying that because you're going to go with him, you're going to be with him, then you just want the job because you're going to be with him. I said, I'm happy to retire right now, right here, so he can get that job because he deserves it. He's good enough. He's so ready, so calm. We work on things at training and then we score the next day from what we worked on, the pattern. We ask our players to put the ball, I'm not going to say where, all right? And we practice it and we score. The next week it's a totally different pattern and we score. We work on set pieces, different ones all the time. You'll never pick them because they're always different and we score. So he's a guy who's ready. He's ready. You don't have to go looking too far. He's in Brighton. He's ready, man. He's so
there's a lot of good coaches in NPL in general.
Well, if you have a look, Roots came from the NPL. He's a qualified coach now. Let's say he's coached at Wellington, Andres, Western United. He's been around. He's a good coach. They've been around. There's Stano. Stano did his apprenticeship at Southo, and then he went to Sydney FC. He was on the backroom staff for a long time. He's good enough. He's doing a good job. If you give these guys some funding, look at Chief. They're coming first. He came out of the state leagues. It wasn't like he's been coaching in Europe and came here. The most successful coaches in Australia are Australians. Graham Arnold, let's not even go with Ange. Ange is on another level. There's levels, and then there's Ange.
Yeah, Ange is brilliant.
All right, like whether you love him or hate him, and you can say what you want about him, there's levels and then there's Ange.
No, we love him. We love him.
He's got football for everyone. He makes everyone happy. You watch his football. I'm a United fan and I'd rather watch Tottenham.
Yeah, so we're Celtic fans, eh?
Oh man, you must love life. I was watching Celtic every weekend.
Yeah, they were brilliant.
It was just unreal. And then he destroyed that Rangers. They were reigning champs for a while.
They took 24 points clear when he took over and then smashed it.
And that's where we're at, like I'm seeing here what you want me to talk about. Marconi plans, like the plans are really highs and lows. I'll tell you some highs and lows. I've had some good highs and lows. Like, all right, the highs everyone knows is when you're winning trophies.
Yeah.
And I'm being fortunate enough to work with Pete. I won them at Bankstown, Olympic and Marconi. And we've won cups as well. And we've won pre-season trophies. Nowadays, my real high, is when I see a young player make his debut. Like, because I'm there, the assistant coach takes him up to the sideline.
Yeah.
Make the sub, and you're looking at it, and you can see that nervous energy, like, fuck, I've made it, I'm going to play today. And then you put your arm around him and you go, you ready? Tarek Elrich said to me, I'm born ready. Tarek Elrich once said to me, I was born ready.
Yeah.
He was 15.
Was this right before we were on the pitch?
Yeah.
Class.
15 he was at the time.
Good on him, man.
He gave me his Wanderers grand final jersey, I don't know, 15 years later. And I always used to say to him, one day you're going to make it, don't worry about it, son. You'll be at the highest level. You know, you will make it. He came back, gave me his jersey, like, he didn't have to, you know.
Yeah.
A nice touch, eh?
Yeah, it was, you know. Lows, look, my biggest, look, I haven't had many real bad lows. I think the leaving Olympic was a low.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurt. Being a Greek boy, and my dad was a big Olympic fan. It was tough. Yeah, it was a terrible feeling, but we had integrity we had our beliefs, and you know, we copped a lot of stick for leaving Olympic, like, oh, you left the club, and yeah, but we left for the right reasons. You know, like, this guy got fired for no reason. He didn't deserve to be fired. That was a low, because I had to sit 2.5 years and watch, and the watching is what killed me, because I was watching all my players that I had grown up go to other clubs. Like, 6 of them had gone to Blacktown Spartans, and they were winning the comp by 11 points, and here I am. I was cheering on Blacktown Spartans. I had no affiliation to the Spartans.
Yeah, just the boys.
Yeah, but, and then, you know, Studsy did his knee, and then they collapsed, and they lost the comp. They didn't win anything. And I remember I was listening to on the headphones, and I was going for a walk with my dog, and come home steaming, you know. I was just steaming, and my wife goes, "What happened?" I go, "Oh, Spartans lost. They didn't win the comp." She goes, "Is that it?" I go, "Is that it?" I go, "Yes, that's it." For me, it was like, they weren't even my team.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
I'm not even, she's from Sparta. Like, I'm thinking, you're not even, you know, like, I'm just trying to comprehend why I was just so upset.
Yeah.
And that was a low. I was angry that I wasn't able to participate those 2.5 years. I couldn't get involved. I was working in my canteen, and people would come up to me and go, "What are you doing, Flea? Not coaching anymore, huh?" And it was like, they were loving life. I'd been sacked, but I hadn't been sacked.
You'd left.
We left. "Oh, what happened at Olympic?" Oh, you know, people are just loving to stick it up. Yeah. Like, you know what I get now all the time? "You still at Marconi?" They love that one. They go, "You liked my photo yesterday, man. I saw your name on Facebook."
But why are you still? But why is that a question? Are you still at Marconi?
I don't know, because they just pretend, they want to pretend that they don't look, but they're looking.
Oh no! I know.
What about you put a story up, you know, one of my kids scores, I'm buzzing for him, I put it up on my story, you know. You've got 2,000 views, 3 likes. No one really likes you. Everyone wants to see you lose, but they want to know what you're doing. Everyone wants to know what you're doing, Flea. 3 likes.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I lift 215 kilos on a deadlift, no likes. 6,000 views. So they want to see what's this guy lifting? What's he lifting, this bloke?
Is he lifting more than me? I don't know if he's lifting more than me.
Yeah, they're looking, they're trying to count, and then I put 227 kilo deadlift, personal best. No one wants you to lift it.
Well, true, mate. To be fair, they want to make sure you're not lifting more than them. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'll look at them.
I'll do more better than them. That's what it is. It's a competition. That's sad.
There is some highs and lows. They're the ones. Like, my plans at Marconi, like, you know, I can tell you that I want to be there for a very long time. I like it there. I like the people there. I like the board. They've been very good to us, and I want to, you know, I want to reward them with some trophies this year. I'm going to do the best we can. I work 150% per week. I don't never let my team, my club, or anyone down there at Marconi. Like, I know my job's big. I drive from Kensington to Bosley Park 4 times a week, and I try my hardest to get there early so I can have a chat to some players, have a little coffee, speak with a boy who's down, who's up, and needs some help. Spanner does the videos. We have a little read of the videos, watch what's going on, and prepare ourselves. We do 2 video sessions a week, one at the beginning, one at the end. We've got 3 sessions a week. We work tirelessly hard for a big club. And I know where I work. I'm not at a small club, and I don't take it for granted. I want to do my best for them. People who know me will tell you that I don't give you less than 150% every day when I turn up to work. And they want the same from us.
How long have you been at Marconi?
I think this is our 8th season. But
Oh, is it? Aye, 8
it
seasons.
sounds like a long time, but you've got to remember
COVID,
two of the seasons were COVID.
Yeah.
Right? The first season of COVID, we were leading the comp. We were coming first, right? And when it went into COVID, let's go back there to COVID, right? No one knew what was going to happen. It's easy now to say, COVID this, COVID that, right? But no one knew. Is there going to be people dying? Is the world going to end? And no one knew.
Yeah, it's
all
true.
right? So it all stopped. When they decided to come back, we didn't get our points back. We were the only comp in Australia that went back to 0 because Sutherland didn't want to join the comp. So West Wanderers came up into our comp. Everyone went back to 0. Our club was shut. There was no revenue, no money coming through. Dead stopped, right? So the club said to our players, take a pay cut. Some clubs didn't pay their players, others did. Take a pay cut. Peter and I decided we weren't going to take any money. And we said, okay, boys, you guys take the pay cut and you all get a contract next year. Loyal. We'll stay loyal to you guys. And they did. All of them took the pay cut. No one got paid.
Fair play to them.
None of them got paid. Some of them had to work. We understood. We said, if you can go to work, you go to work. You can miss training.
Yeah.
We gave a lot of young kids a go. We didn't do too well, but we'll come in first. If that comp hadn't stopped, we were on fire that year. Anyway, it didn't happen. The second year, not everyone stayed. Some of them left for more money. That season got cut in half. It was an 8-game season.
Yeah.
2 seasons went like that, And then when you come back from that, we rebuilt, and a couple of years ago, we came 4th by 1 point, all right? And there's a penalty, and I've got the video, I could show it to you guys, and I don't mind you putting it up. The referee made an out-and-out error. I ran and complained. It's an out-and-out, dead-set penalty. He's taken his legs and put him down Oxford Street somewhere. It's like he's destroyed the guy. And the ref's just gone, goal kick. So this is a penalty with 10 minutes to go.
Against who?
Wollongong, in Wollongong, right? I honestly thought the ref might have been gambling on the game. Your mind starts to wonder. I hope I don't get into trouble for this, but that's what I thought, I just said to him, you've got to check this guy, man. So I showed him the video. I put it up. I had like 1,500 views.
How many likes?
Not many. Everyone was happy. There's smiley faces. They kept looking, right? Anyway, I'll show it to you guys later, right? And then you can put it up if you like. I don't mind. He's taken Marty Fernandez's legs and took them right off, right? And he gives a goal kick. Those 2 points, we win the comp.
Was that near the end of the season?
Second last game.
Second last game.
So the last game of the season was MacArthur Bulls, who were last, or second last, and we beat them 3-1. We did them easy, all right?
No.
Yeah, we did them easy, no problem.
So hang on, so if you'd won that game, you would have won the comp?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating, man.
yeah. Well, I'll show you the penalty, and you'll lose it.
But it was a long to go in the game, and
10 minutes ago.
oh fuck, okay.
All right, 10 to
Who won it that year?
Olympic.
Oh, so it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Aye.
Was it 2 years ago? Jeez, not that long ago. Then last year, we finished 4th again, and it's like a couple of points in.
That was tight last year. It was tight last year.
And we lost, that year we lost Charles Logalingoy.
Yep.
He went overseas. That's a big loss.
Yeah, of course.
When your main striker goes and you've got to restructure your team, and there's no windows.
The Windows is a shambles as well.
Yeah.
And there's 6 games to go. Hey, you
That's a
gotta
good
find
point.
someone.
So stupid.
Yeah,
Man.
so like, I'm not going to look back at it now. I'm just going to say that that was an opportunity for those players to have left with a trophy. Most of them have gone now. There's only Marko Jesic, Milgate and Vela left from that squad. All of them have moved on either for more money to other clubs, better money, family reasons, and maybe they want an easier comp, or go to where they're not going to be vying for a position so hard. Second makes it hard for you. There's no, every position there's 2 to 3 blokes fighting for the same position, right? So Yeah, from that era, there's those three guys and Yuli. You've got 4 blokes that are left, and the rest are now all new or young kids, or we've picked up some academy players from the Mariners who, like sometimes they're not ready for A-League and they're just too good for state league. There's that in-between period. They're the players I like. I want them because I want them to come and fight their way back into the A-League, and like Jack Gibson did, I won't say he wasn't wanted, well, but he was released from the Wanderers, right? They didn't dislike him, they just didn't have room for him. Came to us, he killed it, went back.
Yeah.
So, sorry, just to jump in there with you saying that kind of gap, right? Obviously, there's all the chat about the B League just now, right?
Is that gap?
Is that obviously going to fill that? And also, where is your, as a club, where are you at with the B League in terms of what's happening?
Okay, so I've got my opinions on the B League. Right?
Go on, give us them.
Yeah, I'm not going to be scared, don't worry. And our club is pro for the B League.
Yeah.
They think, Marconi, they know Marconi's a big club and they deserve to be as high as they can be. What it's going to cost, they don't know, because there's no clear black and white what you're going to pay or what you're going to have to spend. And that's the scary part. And that's why some clubs have pulled out.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of negativity about the B League, like you're not going to make money, you're going to lose money, you're going to go broke, it's not viable. I don't give a shit. You know why? Because if clubs want to do it and give their fans the opportunity to be in a B League, let them do it. If Marconi wants to put up the money and be in a B League, why are people going against us? You don't have fans. What's it to you? What's it to you?
Yeah, it's your choice.
It's our choice. We want to be in the B League. Same with Sydney United. They want to be in the B League. I don't understand why people are so negative about it. Do you know once the MLS in 1994, you guys are young, man. In 1994, the MLS was a nothing league. It failed, and everyone was pouring money into it, and it failed. One Texan took him, and he bought, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure it was like most of the teams, 30 teams, right across the country. He's a billionaire, he's an oil man.
That was the guy who made the Predator book.
No. Greg Johnson, man. I can't believe you guys are refugees, man. How did you not know Greg Johnson? Seriously, man. He's the greatest ever. Anyway, we'll get back to Jono later. So this guy, he's forked out all the money to get this league up and running. It ran at a loss for years. Don't tell me you don't watch an MLS game here and there. You watch Suarez.
I watched the Miami game.
You watch Miami. I do. Yeah,
I watch Messi games. Yeah.
When Zlatan went there, I was watching him all the time. I love Zlatan, man. He's the greatest. I was watching him all the time. And before then, there's always something happening in America. This guy, he took the punt.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen in Australia, but it might.
Yeah.
What's wrong with having a go?
Yeah, I think that's what you're saying. There's a big part of the problem, though, is that there's so much negativity surrounding it.
Well, a lot of the this is why we tried to get someone from the FFA on here who was going to come on, but the FFA didn't. Or the Football New South Wales FFA, wasn't it?
Yeah, FFA.
They blocked it because there's not enough they can give out yet for them to come on here and to answer questions, which is fair enough. But I say this from the start. It frustrates me a wee bit of negativity as well, mainly because I don't know enough about it. Like, so if someone says to me they're going to lose money, they're going to do this and that, I'm like, I don't know. I've not seen the balance sheets. I don't know the commercial side of things, the long term, the short term. But I'm going to assume people who have done the numbers are sort of educated in that field. So they're going to be much more educated than Johnny from Facebook, who's just looked at it and thought, lot of shite, going to be rubbish. But mate, it's not like Marconi's janitor just went, let's go in the B League. They've obviously got people in the financial side of things. They've got the club, the technical directors of the board making decisions. So I just, same as you, mate, I'm like, do you know what? They're trying to look to progress the football. Is it going to be right? We don't know. It might end up shocking in a shambles, and they can say I told you so. But it might not be brilliant.
So what?
And it might not be brilliant.
Have a go.
I'm in your field, mate. I'd like to see it happen.
Just support it. Like, just you don't.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. We had Claude on who does the Optus Sport, and he was saying he finds it funny in football because he does a lot of different sports. He's like, in football, you've got all these different categories of people, of fans. You've got the people who are like the old NSL fans who want it back the way it used to be. You've got the guys who are like, they call European snobs, who just love the Premier League and think Australian football's shite. Then you've got the A-League fans. He said, so you've got all these segmented arguments. He goes, but every other sport, they all just support whatever's happening. All the NRL guys just support NRL, but he goes, but in football, for whatever reason, everyone wants to put things down unless it's in their little category, which...
Yeah, your category has to be the one that's...
I just think just support it. Like if
just support it. Give it a go. Like, look, I'll tell you what. We tried to sign some players this year in the off season, and that was when it was up and down whether it was going to go ahead or not. A lot of players don't want to play B-League.
No, yeah, I know that as well. I know a few players.
You know that. So they want to play the 30-game comp, more wages, no travel, stay work. And then there's the younger guys who want a B-League. Maybe it'll be on TV. You'll get spotted from an A-League club. Or
it's an opportunity, isn't it, for kids potentially?
So hypothetically, let's say Marconi go B-League or Sydney United and whoever else, is it going to be full-time or is it still part-time?
These are the answers.
You don't know yet?
Yeah.
So then would you, we've asked this already, right, in terms of what would happen with your NPL side, would you still have an NPL?
I think they're going to have an NPL team too. That was what was mentioned, that you're going to have an A-League team, a B-League team, and an NPL team, because where are you going to get players from if they get injured?
Right. So effectively that's your 23s or 20s?
Yeah, they don't know whether... There's no rules set, so we don't know what the age groups are going to be in B-League. Do you have to have a certain amount of players?
The rumour, again it's a rumour, it was like you had to have 7 or 8 under 23s or something like that to try and promote that longer term thing.
See, these are the rules that we need to know as coaches so we can
start planning,
recruiting and planning. Unfortunately, we don't know.
Yeah, so
we went with that way, getting some young guys like Bayless and Daniel and Malbasa and Susovic. These are all young kids, and we've got Suarez from our youth and promoted him, and we didn't know. So we got some young guys, but we've got to add to them. Like Gibbo's young, and Dom's still young.
Do you think it'll go ahead?
I'm very positive. I want it to go ahead.
I think it'll go ahead, but then it'll happen 2024 or 2025, however.
Nah, surely not.
I don't want them to make us wait another year. They've got to go ahead. I'm
on that field.
I agree with you, right? But I think the fact that you as a club who's supposed to be in it know so little is not a good sign for next year. Because as you say...
meetings, let's just put it that way. The 8 teams, they have an annual meeting every, I'm not sure of how long, but one of the meetings was at our club because it was. And then before that, South Melbourne might hold a meeting. It's wherever each club holds a meeting, so...
But it's just leaving you very little time, because as you say, there's a lot of things that have to happen to fall in to whatever the criteria is in terms of players and ages, and if you need to know that by now to start planning.
Who are you going to sign?
That's exactly right.
So that's I'm very positive for the B-League. I want it to happen. I've been going to these grounds for 20 years. I want something different too. So I'm sure the fans do too. People who watch NPL aren't going to go against the B-League. They're going to go, you know what? South Melbourne's coming here to play Olympic. Well, I'm going to watch that.
Have a good game,
So, last question, mate. Where am I going to finish this year?
That's a good one. You put me on the spot. Well, look, at the start of the year, I always want to win the comp.
100%.
I want one of my players to win the Golden Boot, and I prefer one of my players to win the Player of the Year, and let's win the Grand Final and the Waratah Cup. That's just because I'm ambitious, and so is Pete. We don't set any other goals, So where we finish will be determined on our players, really, because for me, I want to finish there. Whether you finish first or win the Grand Final or win the Cup, how can I say it? You could have a great year and not win anything, and you could have a terrible year and win the Cup. And then people go, but you just won the Cup. You had a great year. No, we didn't. We finished 9th. I don't want that. I would want my team fighting in the semis, going for the Cup, getting West Wanderers in the FFA Cup at Marconi and getting 9,000 people there and seeing it red and black, and then the Italians on one side. I hope for things like that. I'm an ambitious guy. I want things like that to happen. When you think like that, they usually
it can happen.
When I was a kid, I was thought about winning trophies. I was obsessed. And I did, I won them. I was very lucky to be in teams that won. And then as a coach, I'm being lucky that Pete's taken me on this journey with him. And we're winning and we're taking trophies here and there, you know. And then now I want these young guys to have that feeling, that experience. So when they're old like me and they can say, I did win a comp.
Remember this.
I remember those days, you know. The thing is, players these days, they don't hang out like they used to. Like, you know, when I was younger, your age group, it's more of the NPL is semi-pro, real semi-pro. They protein shakes and eat well, and they not in my day.
Yeah, you were at the pub after training.
It was win or lose on the booze. It was just like everyone was out, and you met up with the other team, your position, and you drank together, and then you smashed each other after at the game. There was no cameras, we were punching on all the time. But nowadays it's pro. Coaches are pro. Players are pro. Man, we're watching their weight, 2 video sessions. If someone's 5 grams overweight from Tuesday to Thursday, hey, what have you been eating?
5 grams.
What are you doing? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
you really got to, I mean, you're in the industry.
Yeah.
You watch their weight.
Yeah, weight, body fat, skin folds,
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah,
There you go, mate. There's no mucking around nowadays like the old days.
Yeah, of
Thursday
course.
night, let's have a few beers and let's get out all night. Then that doesn't happen anymore.
Nah, of course.
There's no such thing. I can tell if my player's gone out. I just look at him in the eyes. Hey, you've been out.
Yeah.
Well, what'd you look down for? What did you look down for?
True. You do know.
Yeah, you know. Just say the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out, Fleet. All right, no worries. Just let me know.
So mate, where am I going to finish?
How long is that parking outside, man? Because my car's been out there, it's 3:45, I'm obviously going to be booked, just paying for the ticket. Seriously, what are we doing? You know what, whatever answer I give, you're going to make a joke of it. What do you think, I'm stupid? I'm 55.
I'm trying to get you some likes, that's all. I was trying to get you some likes on Instagram.
No, I don't need any likes, man. Don't worry about likes. Views.
No, I will joke. And one thing I just want to touch on before we go into the predictions, and we'll obviously wrap up with predictions quickly, is just probably a bit more serious would be obviously battled cancer successfully, which is phenomenal, mate. So congratulations and amazing. But I think it'd be good just for you to tell people, especially around your age, how you found out and what they can do.
Yeah, look. I'm not that guy that does the checkups. I'm not that guy. I just live for the moment. I was just one of those guys that just had fun, just enjoy life, and whatever happens, happens. And then a friend of mine was just pestering me, do the test. I never did any tests, right? And then eventually, I got paranoid about it. Maybe I'll go, he goes, just go do your PSA test, Fleet, go do it. So I went and did it, right? And my numbers were okay. Not the best. So I went in and saw a specialist for my prostate, right? He said, numbers aren't the best, but you're okay. You know, let's keep an eye on it. 6 months later, I went in again. And now I'm just thinking, do the right thing, just do the test, everything's going to be fine. Numbers were okay. Come back in 6 months, then all of a sudden the numbers weren't right. And they said, well, we need to do a biopsy because those numbers aren't good. So I do a biopsy, they found a little lump, it was cancer, and I had prostate cancer. I had a lump in my prostate, right? So after the biopsy, they said, you could live with this for a while, and eventually it might grow. What do you want to do? No, I'll live with it for a while. Let's see how we go. So another 6 months went, and then next test he goes, it's aggressive. Might have to have an operation. So I did. I had to have an operation. As I booked it, the package that comes in the mail for bowel cancer, when you get to 50, there's a package, right? So your viewers who are over 50 will understand. And then most guys chuck it in the bin, right? And I was the same. And then I'm going to open this up. I open it up, I have a look. It goes, I put the thing on the toilet seat, and put that down. I did the number 2s. And then I poked it with it's like a little stick like a thermometer. You put it in there, you put it into this little tube, you send it off in the mail, and you get a result a week later. I got that result. Positive. Ring your doctor immediately. So I rang the doctor. He said, come in. So I didn't have a bowel cancer doctor. I went to the guy at Randwick, who I don't even know his name, to be honest. He was so calm. I went in there, he said, look, we found something in your bowels, let's book you in and we'll get it out. Just like that. How do I not
The mechanic.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to Greece with an over 45s team and I said, am I going to miss out on this? Okay, am I going to, honestly, it's not funny, it's true. I said, will I die? He goes, no, you're not going to die. Go to Greece, go and enjoy yourself. I said, can it get worse? He goes, nah. He goes, go and have some fun. He goes, when you come back, we'll take it out. Done. So I told my teammates I'm in. Said to the prostate guy, I said, listen, I'm going away. Is this serious? Am I going to die? He goes, no, you're not going to die. He goes, but you could have the operation, Pete. Once you get back, there's no more holidays. This is a serious operation. We're taking out your prostate. You've got prostate cancer. It's not a joke. I go, I'll do it now if you want. He goes, nah. He goes, it was like they wanted me to go on holidays. They go and enjoy yourself. Go and play footy with your mates because you ain't get to be playing when you come back. And I took that personally. I hadn't played much that year and I knew it was my last year with my best mates. We'd won 9 comps in a row, 5 champions of champions. Man, I was captain of this team. I fucking love those guys. I really do. And it kills me. I'm in the group chat and they're all still playing and I'm not, right? But I had to do the operations.
No, of course.
And if you don't, if you're over 50 and you're not doing tests, you're an idiot. Trust me, do the tests. Because I could have died. Simple as that. That's what both of them told me. If you had let it go and not done the checks and it had grown out of control, oh, then you got chemo, then you got this and you got that.
So you caught it early enough?
Very early.
Brilliant,
I was
mate.
very
Brilliant.
early. So I've had both of them removed. I've had a test since then and I've come back really good. My numbers were 0 and I have my next test in May and hopefully that'll be 0 and I will take it from there. The only downside to it is you can't lift heavy deadlifts because your pelvic floor, it's weak, all right? And if you lift heavy, you might pee on yourself, you know? I don't really want to do that in the gym in front of everyone, so...
Not again, anyway.
So, there's downsides to it, you know,
That's a small sacrifice to pay for, obviously, success.
So I tell all my friends, because they all ring, they go, Lee, how did you know? I finished school in year 10, man. What do you mean, how do I know? I did a fucking test. I went and did the test.
Is that feeling?
But did you? What about? I go, no, man, I'm not a doctor. So what about when they say this to me? Flea, can you tell? I go, no, I can't tell. I go, the doctors can tell.
Will you just touch me here?
I'm like, stand back a second. Actually, you've got it.
This one guy, he was a driver, he was a delivery driver. He goes, Flea, I heard you had cancer. I go, yeah, I've got it early. He goes, yeah, I've got a problem and I'm not pissing properly. I go, and you're telling me? What am I, a doctor?
Cancel this, bro.
I finished year 10 at Randwick Boys, man. I hardly even went to school. I go, do you understand I was jigging Wednesday and Fridays? I go, you got to go get the test. He goes and does the test. Yeah, man. He's got cancer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but they got it early. I fucking forced him.
Fucking
It
hell.
was like, sorry about the swearing. I forced him. I forced this guy, the driver. To be honest, I don't even know his name. But I forced him. He came back to me and said, thanks, man. He goes,
Wow.
without you forcing me to go see the doctor, John, I think his name's John. I said, did you get the tests? They cut it out. He goes, yeah, man. He goes, my wife said same too. I go, they were right. Okay, now continue.
Yeah,
Continue, Dad. I go, you smoke? He goes, yeah, I smoke heaps, you know. I go, you're a malacca. Stop smoking. What do you need to smoke for?
Oh, man.
Yeah. That's it, man. I won't say to you I've beaten cancer. I just don't have any at the moment. I'm cancer free.
That's positive.
Yeah, I'm at the moment, I'm cancer free. I'm in the gym, I train hard. Yeah, I have a beer with my mates. Yeah, I enjoy life. Not like I used to, but man, you've got to be positive. I've got young kids. I've got to stay alive.
Yeah.
I've got to see them grow up.
Yeah, 100%.
I've got to marry my daughter off. Like, that's the job you've got a job to do as a parent.
Yeah.
That's my job. If I don't marry my daughter off, then it's just, I haven't succeeded. I've got to get there.
You'll get there, mate.
Yeah.
You'll get there. Oh, brilliant, mate. Good news. Hopefully it remains that way. But we'll move on to finishing off with just predictions for this weekend.
Week's predictions. So 4 games we've got from each competition, Flea. You can start us off. Western Sydney Wanderers versus Apia.
Win, lose or draw.
Draw.
Draw. Gary?
Wanderers versus, is it at Wanderers? I'm going to go Wanderers.
I'm going to go Apia. Rockdale at home to Wolves.
Rockdale.
Rockdale.
Me too. Olympic at home to Blacktown. Big games.
Blacktown.
Oh.
Blacktown.
Draw. Marconi at home to St George Saints. Remember Marconi are finishing 14th.
Marconi.
Marconi.
He's only saying it because I'm here. I mean, he's rich.
Marconi for you, Flea. I'll go Marconi as well. Right. MPL 2, Bulls versus Rydomere Lions.
Bulls.
Yeah, I'm going Bulls as well.
Bulls.
A new gaffer, but right, Emil.
Yeah,
With the wee honeymoon effect.
possibly. But I think Bulls will want reaction after losing last week.
Yeah.
Spartans at home to Mount Druitt.
Mount Druitt.
I'm going Spartans.
I'm going Spartans. Peter Pelikanos, the Spartan. Yeah, I'm going for
Spartan.
them. Yeah, he's from Sparta. Both parents.
Class. Bonnyrigg versus ST Raiders.
You're just playing the midweek. I'm going to go Bonnyrigg. ST Raiders midweek game against Marconi could take it out though. And it's at Bonnyrigg at the not ideal pitch.
They've got a tough game midweek. I think Bonnyrigg might turn the corner.
They won last week.
Draw.
Yeah, because ST Raiders aren't bad defensively, they're actually quite good. Inter at home to Dully. I'm going into Lions.
I'm going into Lions as well.
Into Lions.
Fraser Park at home to Prospect.
Fraser Park. Excuse me.
I'm going Prospect. Fraser.
Fraser Park, because I just like the ground. I had some fond memories there.
You wouldn't like the ground if you had to play there this year, mate. Granville Rage at home to South Coast Flames.
No, go Razorback. Big Tadorowski.
Rage.
Rage.
Oh, I'm going South Coast. Inner West Hawks at home to Newcastle Jets.
That'll be a good game.
First versus third, I think.
I'm going to go draw.
Versus fourth.
Jimmy Patikas was my best friend growing up.
Oh, is it, eh?
He's an ex-Socceroo. You guys know who he is?
No, I don't know who he is. Not personally,
Okay, so he's one of the greatest Greek footballers ever. He played 8 seasons for 8 Athens. He won
Oh, did he?
4 championships and 2 cups. He's the first ever player from Australia to play Champions League. He played against AC Milan. My absolute best friend growing up gave me all his jerseys. I've still got them. I gave him all my records, my Kiss records. I don't know if he's still got them, but we are still close friends. I'll never go against the Hawks. I was captain of them for 5 years.
So you're picking Jets?
So he
Come on, Jimmy. He's got an Asian there, and he said, I found him at the park.
come on, he scored 16 goals.
He goes, Flea, I found him at the park. He's a gun. I go, what park? He goes, I'm not telling you.
With Hensley, mate, either seen him as Hensley.
I'm going Stanmore as well. And finally, Hurstville at home to Parramatta.
I'm going to go Hurstville.
Is Parramatta owned by the Oranges? What's going on there?
I don't know. I don't know. Political side, no idea.
I have no idea.
If Tarek Orich is involved with Parramatta, I'm going for Tarek Orich.
Yes, he is.
I love all the Orich brothers. And there were some cousins there, Coco and Zach. They both played for me at Olympic. They'd go to war for you, those two.
Yeah, so you're going Parramatta, you're Hurstville?
I'm going to go Hurstville, aye.
Yeah, and I'm going draw.
Done, mate.
Mate, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much
Thanks
for
for
coming
having
on.
me,
I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure.
As a kid, I always wanted to have my own radio show, so this is the closest thing to it. So
There you go.
when I was at school, they used to say to me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I go, "I want to be a radio show."
So, are you going to sing a song?
No, man, I'm not singing.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
a show.
What would your show be, your radio show?
Life. Just take on any conversation.
Any conversations.
I'm ready to take on anything, to be honest. Not just sport. That's boring.
Yeah.
Just
It's live conversations.
life.
You play music though?
I love music. I worked at Enmore Theatre for 9 years, so I've seen over 1,500 concerts in that time.
Wow.
So I met some of the most famous bands in the world. And Rolling Stones played there, and Oasis.
What did you do there?
Well, I had various jobs, but on the big concerts, I used to ask for centre aisle. So I would be like a security, but in the front centre aisle. So if people collapsed, I'd have to carry them out, right?
And I had my best mate, George Atho, he was a strong bastard, right? So I go, Atho, I can't lift this guy, help me. So we used to lift them out. I'd bring people back to life if they were like, you know, knocked out. I'd do my best to bring them alive, you know. So, yeah, that job was the best job. you could
That's
ever
quality.
ask.
That's unbelievable.
3 gigs.
Yeah, well, Chris Iliadis, who his family owned the Animal Theatre, is one of my best friends, and we just had the best one. That's for another show, let me tell you, Animal Theatre.
Quality, mate. Well,
Thank you, mate.
thanks, mate.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.